Okay, so today we're going to look at essentialism. So essentialism is the view that gender is a fixed biological or physiological state that does not vary among individuals over time, which is an incorrect assumption, right? So gender isn't male and female, it isn't defined by body parts, it isn't determined by chromosomes, and it isn't your sexual orientation. Gender is a spectrum, a range of expressions, how you relate to yourself, and how you have constructed your personal identity. So gender fluid means some people are identified as gender fluid, which means sometimes they can present as a boy, sometimes they can present as a girl, sometimes they can present in between, sometimes they can present as a different gender, which you're going to learn about in gender queries if you haven't already watched that video and start to reply to it. So basically what we're identifying is that gender is unique. Gender can change, gender is fluid, right? So back when Roosevelt was a baby, the color pink was associated with the male body because it was a form of red, which is masculinity and powerful, while blue was for female-identified babies because it was soft and gentle. Who knows, right? So gender is up to you, and it is no one else's business but your own. So please don't police others in regards to their gender. Gender can be whatever you want it to be. If you feel like shaving your legs, great. If you don't, great. If you feel like shaving your legs is feminine for you, solid. If you don't feel like shaving your legs is feminine, solid too, right? So just don't police other people. So the identity spectrum, right? So unfortunately, we don't really identify gender as a spectrum. We identify gender as more of like a nebulous kind of a thing. So it's not so linear, right? So we have the identity nebulous. So let's go into sociological theories in regards to gender, right? So society, through functionalism, society is a system of interdependent parts, the family economy, that work together to meet systems that systems keep stable in society. So sorry for that. So we see that systems that identify gender, agents of socialization, continue to manifest and such to keep society stable. We're coming to a point where it's no longer keeping society stable, so we're going to have to start to redefine what these words actually mean and what gender means and how it is fluid. The interactionist perspective is how human beings interpret or define each other's actions instead of merely reacting to each other's actions. So it's how people together do gender, perform gender, in the context of culturally based interactional expectations of others, right? So the focus is, through symbolic interactionism, the focus is on how boys and girls learn to act the way that they're supposed to act through gender socialization. The effect of the media is very powerful, and parents are vitally important in this gender socialization, right? So again, think about a media source, a video, a song, an image that reconstructs these ideas of what a female body is supposed to be and what a male's body is supposed to be. So the theories of gender. So here we have the gender queries. We have functionalism, conflict theory, symbolic interactionism. So functionalism is that socialization into roles is a major impetus behind inequality. It functions to support inequality, that women are disadvantaged by inequalities built into the social structure. And through symbolic interactionism, that gender is produced through interactions and interpretations in our society. So then we're going to see this power and inequality, right? So power structures. So if we look at all of these different identifiers, that family really is kind of the locus of control in regards to agents of socialization, right? Through the family, children start to be socialized into understanding what female and male and gender are supposed to all be about, and then it is reinforced through education, economy, religion, policy, things of that nature. So again, let's look at gender performance, right? So gender performance is the way that people accomplish being a man or a woman or boy or girl or neither or both. And so then we think of this construction or complex negotiation of gender, right? So this is a constructionist view. So gender performance is doing gender, right? So how do we then create this idea of doing gender? How do we create this idea of performing gender, right? So again, gender is not a binary between male and female. Gender is a unique social and personal identity of who you want to present as and how you want to present that and how you define yourself. So I want us to be really clear that there are the differentiation between gender, sex, and sexual orientation. Gender is your performance, sex are your sexual organs, and sexual orientation is who you like to be intimate with or not, right? So then we think of within my gender identity, I can identify as male, female, third gender, gender queer, twin spirit, gender androgynous, like whatever I really want to, but then I can also express differently, right? So I can identify as a female, but also express what I identify as male characteristics or queer characteristics. My biological sex or my sex organs, which come in a multitude of constructions from all female sex organs, all male sex organs, and then constructions in between. All of them are amazing and great, and humans just come in unique and cool ways, right? And then sexual orientation, I can be attracted to whomever I like in whatever way I identify because it's up to me, and it really doesn't matter for anyone else because it's my sexual orientation, it's my gender identity, it's my gender expression, and it is my biological sex organs. Cool? All right. So then we're going to think about queer theory, transgender theory. This is from a reading that you had to do. Again, we were doing another concept map in your groups. So get together and then look at the readings between queer theory and gender theory and think about how we as a society construct this idea and how this reading can be understood through conceptualization. So really, within queer theory and transgender theory, it establishes a collective identity, but at the expense of understanding of the individual experience. So then I want you to think about how does this connect to Black feminist epistemology, if you know of it. If not, that's cool.